Hello and Grüß Gott. This is my 2016 Harley Davidson Road King I got from Desert Wind Harley Davidson in Mesa, Arizona. It's a near perfect bike, but I wanted to add a couple of things today on this video. One is the metal guards that go up here on top of the saddlebags, and the other one is the metal guards that go around to protect the saddlebags around here. So I got the parts from Newcastle Harley Davidson right here, and they were rather inexpensive, so I was very happy to get those. So I'm going to install this part first, and to do that I have to take the saddlebags off. So I'm going to unlock them and I'm going to show you how to take them off. Okay, to remove the bags, inside here there's a couple of like rings, and you just turn them to the left and the bag will pop loose, and you want to make sure and keep it from falling, and I put a towel down so I can put the bag on it. So I'm going to take this bag off first, and we'll start on this side. Inside the bag, well, first of all, you take the saddlebag off, and inside the bag, you're going to find the two chrome pieces that go here on this side and on the other side. And you're also going to find a bag of hardware and instructions, and it's going to instruct you to take these bolts off here. I'll get to that in a second. And so I'm going to open up the hardware bag, find out which one of these goes on this side here, and then I'm going to come right back. Okay, so the instructions say to take this nut loose right here, and that's the one towards the tire itself. So you're going to take that nut loose and that screw and take them out, and it says to discard them. Then you're going to take this nut loose, but you're going to save the bolt and you're going to discard this nut. So we're going to get that done, and then we're going to come right back. At this point, what I've done is I fed this through as per the instructions and wrapped it around. I had to remove the turn signal to get it to go through, so I'll put that back on with some Loctite. I have tightened these two bolts, the big bolts 35 foot-pounds, the small bolts 20 foot-pounds, and these are like 7.3 Newton meters, so just barely snug. They find their natural fit here. So I'm going to clean all this up, put the bag on, and we'll come back and take a look at it. Okay, so now we've got that piece put on. Everything's torqued into place, put the saddlebag back on. Looks great, really like this. So now I'm going to move to the other side and do that. Then when I come back, we'll look at putting the protective chrome pieces on top of the saddlebags. I finally finished putting on the right side bar now. It was much more difficult. I actually had to disassemble part of the bar. I had to take the turn signal off, and to get it all in, it was just a lot more difficult. And then once I had it in, it did not fit very well. The other side just laid in there perfectly. This side I had to struggle with to get it to fit, especially around the top area here. This did not fit. It was sticking out, so it was bowed. So I had to pull it together and then tighten it up. So I did it though, and then now I'm going to work on the top part. Okay, at this point I'm ready to start the installation of these rails that go on top of the saddlebags. So to do that, we're going to put some painter's tape where we're going to be drilling through. We're going to take the saddlebags off and put them on a towel for protection. And inside the covers here, there's some little marked areas where you drill through. And so we're going to get all this set up, and we'll come back and talk about how we're going to drill the holes for this. Okay, so I have the saddlebag off right now, and when you look, it's hard to see in the not very good light here, but there's some little spots where it shows you to drill. One of them's here, and there's two back there. Just make sure you drill through the right ones, because there's a couple of other additional spots. So you'll have to sort of line it up with the metal piece that goes on the top and make sure you have the right ones. Then we're going to drill those, and also we're going to attach some nylon washers to the rail piece that goes on top. I'm going to glue that on with some RTV or room temperature vulcanized black sealant. So I'm going to get all that set up, and I'll come back and show you how that was done. I have the first one of these protective pieces installed on top of my saddlebag. This is for the left side. So at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to step you through each individual step that I followed to do this. Not too hard of a job, so hang on a second and we'll be right back. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take these nylon pieces that you get and you're going to cut out 3 of the ones that have like a cup, and you're going to put a little bit of black RTV on these chrome pieces here, and then insert these on top, and then spin them around a little bit so that they make good contact and make a good weather seal. And then before we install this component onto the saddlebag, we're going to put a little bit of black RTV around here, and that'll weather seal it. And so next we're going to take a 1/16 inch drill bit, and we're going to drill pilot holes in the saddlebag. So I'm going to take the saddlebag off the right side, and I'm going to get that set up, and I'm going to come back. Okay, I'm almost ready to start drilling. The drill holes are going to be on the front of the saddlebag, right up here, and then 2 back here. And you'll see they're little round circles, but there's some other circles. So as I mentioned earlier, be careful not to drill the wrong ones, because then you'll have a hole in your bag. So you're going to use this pilot drill. You're going to drill right in the center of the circle exactly. But before you do that, put some painter's tape on the other side of the saddlebag to keep the paint from splitting out. So I'm going to get this bag all taped up. I'm going to drill the holes, and then I'm going to come back. Okay, so at this point I've drilled my pilot holes, and I'm ready to come back and drill the other hole. You're going to use a 7/32 drill bit. Follow the instructions, and I'll tell you which size. So we're going to drill those out, then I'll come back and we'll see how it looks. Okay, so I finished drilling the holes. I've closed up the saddlebag, set it up right, and I'm ready to peel the painter's tape off very slowly and carefully so it doesn't peel off any paint. Then I'll wax it. Then I'll start installing the rail. All right, I have my hardware all set up, and you'll see you get a split washer, a flat washer, then a nylon washer, and you put them onto these. And these screws that come with it are all set up so that they have a Loctite type thing on them. You're gonna have your screwdriver ready. I put a little bit of RTV around each of these, so it's gonna make a weather tight seal. And what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna feed this through the saddlebag, and I'm gonna carefully start to attach it on one point only, and then come around and do the others, and that way I'll hopefully avoid spreading RTV all over my saddlebag. So I'll get that done, I'll come right back. Okay, I've used my screwdriver and tightened these 3 screws really good and snug. I went around in a circular motion, tighten them little by little by little until I got it all done. So now we're gonna flip up the top, and I'm going to wax the new rail. And then I'm also gonna clean off any RTV that's around the edges where the grommets feed through. So I'll do that first, and then I'll come back and clean the rails, wax them, and then we'll install it and see how it looks when it's done. Okay, so there we have it. We've installed the saddlebag protective pieces, what I'm gonna call a bumper that goes around the side, and also the winglets or protective rails that go on the top. And they came out great. The pieces that go on top were fairly easy to do. The parts that go around the side, I would say, were substantially more difficult. But if you take your time and work slowly and have all the tools, it's not too difficult of a job. So that's all there is to this video. Thanks for watching, and happy motoring. Tschüss.